CompTrain Masters, we are finally here. Open 18.1. Combining toes to bar, dumbbell hang clean and jerks, and rowing, this is a combination that will test our stamina over the longer time range of 20 minutes. With all three movements relying heavily on the lats and shoulders, pacing is a must to find our best score. Before we talk through the details of the triplet, we first want to address the overarching theme, that of consistent movement. It's less about cycle time or even the size of our sets. It's instead first about minimizing the amount of time we spend not working towards that next repetition. We're looking at a workout with potentially 40 transitions inside of it, with a third of those being getting into and out of the rower. Dozens and dozens of seconds can be lost here. A large focus will be to transition aggressively, always moving with purpose between the pull-up rig to the dumbbell to the rower. Starting with the toes to bar, the first piece to mention is that these repetitions do not need to be straight, but they do need to be consistent. Let's visualize ourselves in the workout 5 rounds in. How we break these repetitions in round 5 is how we likely should in the very first round. Given how the transition between a break is minimal, we aren't concerned with forcing large sets. A break here isn't nearly as time consuming as an extra break on the dumbbell as an example. Efficiency-wise, we are looking to maximize our backswing. Especially in workouts that fatigue the lats and shoulders, our bodies tend to resist opening up and we lose the potency of the kip swing. Focus on the long body with a locked out knee behind the bar. If we put in the work behind us on the backswing, the front part takes care of itself. Efficiency is what will carry us far into the workout, whereas muscling through repetitions early will quickly become costly in this longer time range. Today is also a good day to tape the bar if you prefer to do so. As a reminder, per the CrossFit Games standards, athletes are allowed to either tape the bar or use gymnastics grips, but not both together. Next is the hanging dumbbell clean and jerk, and here we can draw some similarities to the kettlebell swing. To start, we want to hinge with the dumbbell between our legs. This is a more natural pattern for us to equally use our hips, making our clean more efficient. When we come down from overhead, another similarity is we can arc the dumbbell just in front of us to load for that next repetition. This puts us right back in the hinge pattern, making the next repetition that much easier. The next step is to dial in the connection to the dumbbell. A very common fault here will be over-pulling. That is where the weight crashes down on top of us because we simply pulled it too high. Our aim is to pull the weight just high enough so we can immediately meet it with our shoulder in the front rack position. This takes some practice with the familiar cue of fast elbows, but it's very easily learned inside the warm-up. It is per the standards that the dumbbell touches the shoulder after the clean. As the elbow comes through, a cue for athletes can be to get the pinky finger higher than the thumb. This will push the back half of the dumbbell towards the shoulder, helping us to find a more efficient front rack position. If able, we recommend push pressing these repetitions where we can harness the stretch reflex once again with the catch and go method. Changing in the air after 5 repetitions is permitted, but a brief break on the ground for a hand change is not wrong as long as we're diligent with that transition. It's worth adding as well that this movement's pull intensive, but it's not overly metabolic. It's a good place for us to focus on our breathing as we move through the reps. Lastly, the row. The row for most of us is the pacer of the workout. It is our aim to push our efforts first on the toes to bar and the dumbbell, knowing that excessive breaks there can be costly. But once we've dialed in our efforts on those two, it is then a matter of how hard can we push the row without forcing us to break up those reps. It is then a rowing workout at that point. 2 pieces to keep in mind here. The first is the importance of holding our technique and maintaining our stroke cadence. Recognizing that our lats, shoulders, and biceps will be taxed, proper technique here will separate athletes in the second half. Focus on a long pull with extended, relaxed biceps. Choking up in the rower here will surely result in our arms fatiguing unnecessarily fast. Ensure we have long, relaxed arms in the catch position. Secondly, focus on maintaining a full, powerful, methodical stroke. The first place we'll commonly see an athlete fault in, especially when fatigued, is their stroke length. It shortens, resulting in an arm-intensive finish. Not much power and pretty taxing on the biceps. Focus on reaching in full in the catch and maximizing our leg drop. Recognizing the importance of our transitions, let's move with a purpose to and from the rower. This is where athletes can lose many seconds strapping in and getting going. be in a hurry. The goal is to get the flywheel spinning as quickly as you can after we finish the last dumbbell rep. It's less about bringing it up to a certain speed and more simply about just getting it moving. Some athletes prefer to keep their foot straps loose throughout the whole duration, whereas others feel best getting the fan spinning first and then tightening down the straps one by one in between strokes. Our judge can reset the monitor for us. Let's just be diligent about not wasting a single second in between. Given how a round is not excessively taxing, we're going to recommend completing one full 8, 10, 14, or 12 before starting the workout. Do the full round. That'll give you a baseline as to what you can expect inside the workout. That way we can make any final adjustments if we need to before we actually start. Open 18.1. Let's go get it.